Supposed to have a coaching session right now, but the person might not be able to join. People who are later, maybe he's confused or something. You have coaching services? Yes, I do, sir. Yes, you can type ! coaching. Happy New Year, Crixus. I'm a very busy man right now, but life is good. Awkward silence? Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to... I've had a very busy day today. I had content, coaching session for 2 hours, meeting for 2 hours, and then I'm here. Where I'm supposed to have a coaching session, then a class, then a coaching session. So today's a pretty busy day. But the person that's supposed to be here is not here right now. I'll be right back. It appears the person I'm supposed to be coaching is not here. Unless they added me on Discord, which they did not. I mean, usually I give about a 10 to 15 minute grace period. Pretty bad time to be late though, because it's right before my class. Really unlucky. I mean, I feel like there must be like some time zone misunderstanding because I feel like they're going to pop up in like 3 hours wondering if we're going to do our session. What does Dormant Curio do? If you take Dormant Curio, it offers you no benefit, but the next artifact that you get will be 30% better. So if you decide on a tier 2 item, it'll be 30% better than the normal tier 2 item. Like Essence Ring will heal you 300 instead of 225. And Searing Signet does 14 damage instead of 12. I mean, it's on Metafy, which shows in their time zone, so. It has nothing to do with anything I can fix. I mean, 90% of the time, it's just a mess up from the students somehow. I've not had a proper amount of time to eat today, so I'm currently stuffing my face with blueberries. But sadly, one or two of them has mold on it, so. Dude, berries in the Netherlands are crazy. They're like, these are like 2 days old. And they're already molding. Now I'm just like checking the ones that I'm eating. Would you like to restate your statement there, Blizzard Power? I'd be curious if you could word it nicer. Feel free to try again. I don't think telling me what to do is a better way to word what you just said. Try again. I'll give you a suggestion afterwards if you can't do it on the third try. BSJ's back. Sup, dude? You look like Ryan Garcia. I don't know who that is. Hope he's sexy. They said he's here, but I guess generally speaking, I'll just answer with I don't plan to play pubs on stream anymore for the most part. Why is that? Maybe I should just make a video about it because I do answer that question a lot. I should make it like a quick 4-minute video or something. Doesn't have to be long. There's just better things to do with my time. I don't particularly enjoy it anymore. I enjoy playing pubs off stream and streaming educational content on stream. The best summary I can give is that being on stream playing pubs, it feels like your viewers are like rooting against you. It feels like people are kind of laughing at you instead of with you. It feels like it's very isolating. It's very unfun. It's like you against the world kind of thing. No matter how good my chat is, it always feels like that. But when I do other stuff, it feels like we're working together on something. And that's like a really nice feeling, and I enjoy looking at chat. But during like frustrating pubs, I never enjoy looking at chat. And if I'm going to stream, why would I want to stream in a way that I don't want to look at chat? That kind of defeats the purpose, right? The guy said his brother's trying to get here, and I don't know what to say other than you're too bad there are such people in chat. Yeah, I think it's just kind of the nature. I mean, it's the same way people watch sports. Like they're like most people, like a lot of people like root against their own team or like bash the other team. It's like it's not fun. It's not fun for me to be like a spectacle for you guys. It's just not fun anymore. I did it for like 8 years. Actually, more like 10. I don't need to do it anymore, you know? Do you have goldfish there? I'm sure we have some equivalent. I haven't had goldfish in a very long time. Goldfish were like one of my favorite snacks growing up, though. I ate the shit out of goldfish. I had these like little small cups of goldfish, like probably once, like 4 times a week or something, like almost every other day. You do live coaching? Currently, I'm doing live coaching through the VIP service on Dota Dojo. If you join our Discord, you can see the upgrade to VIP tab. I do live coaching through that. I'll have a live coaching session in about 2 hours. If you want to check it out. There's also my coaching YouTube. Is it like exclamation coach? Is it coaching YouTube? Something like this, or second YouTube? Or no, it's coaching VODs is what it is. Coaching VODs. This is the wrong link now, huh? Okay, it takes you to the right link. But all of the VIP sessions in there are live coaching. We're going to be rebranding it, though, make it more obvious. Is Tiny Carry a thing this patch? Seems like some people are playing it. I don't think it's particularly great. I understand it might not be fun to hear that somebody you like playing pubs is no longer going to stream pubs, but it's not like I haven't thought about all of this stuff. I've thought about this for a very long time, and I've made up my mind, you know? So it's like kind of a waste of both of our times for you to try to convince me. It's okay. I understand it's really sucks, and I'm not here to like personally make this suck for you. I'm just done streaming pubs, so rather than trying to convince me otherwise, we can all spend our time doing something else. But I am sorry that that era is over for you. Well,
Hello.
hey,
Hey.
let's do our best to jump right into it because I want to make sure you get something out of this session.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, sorry about that. I had some trouble verifying my account. It was being weird with the phone number. Yeah.
gotcha.
I
All
just
good,
reset
man.
everything.
Let's usually I like to have a little talk at the beginning, but for the sake of time and getting you out of this, getting something out of this for you, let's just break it down. So what role are you?
Um, I usually play like whatever. I think my weakest role is like mid. I feel like what I want to play, like what I enjoy is like support, like position 4, position 5. Um, but I find myself, especially in my like lower MMR, like kind of tied between two areas where if I play support well, then I'm kind of relying on my cores, and sometimes I feel like I have like less agency there, and so then I started playing core more, like mostly position 3, sometimes 1, and then then I feel like I could have more impact, even though I feel like maybe I'm like stronger or like I enjoy the support role more.
I guess my question is, what is your goal out of today's session then? Because I'm hearing a little bit of everything when it comes to your role. So what would you like me to talk to you about today?
Yeah, I was thinking about that before my brother signed me up for this. So I play with friends, and we kind of like obviously like just enjoy Dota 2 like pretty casually, but we have a like a wide range of MR. Like my brother is like almost immortal, but I'm just like, a crusader. Um and that's kind of like the breadth. And so I think what I would like to do is like just be able to like improve my fundamentals enough to where I can still have fun when I'm playing with higher MMR like spreads like that. Because I find myself sometimes like when we play games together, like it's like the skill gap is just so high, right? And like um, I don't know like what to do early game, mid game, or like kind of how to like assess the game state. So I guess I'd be able to enjoy Dota 2, like still have fun in games when obviously you know like there's like a skill gap and that kind of thing.
Sure, man.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, are you for today's session, I asked you about your role. What role am I coaching you on today?
I think support would be best.
Okay. Then I will do my best to give you what I think I have a clear idea of what you're looking for today. I shared my screen with you, I believe, on Discord. I did.
Yes, I'm
I'm gonna
looking at your
jump
screen now.
into those replays that you sent me, and my way of coaching. I don't know how much you know about my method of coaching, but my way of coaching is to generally find questions that I think people are not asking themselves. That
Mhm.
if they were to repeat it over time would make them 1% better every game, so that 6 months from now, a year from now, they feel like it had significant impact, and during that time, they felt like they had more agency in their games. So
Yeah, that
that's
sounds great.
that's what we're going for.
Yeah, I tried to get you some good games. I unfortunately didn't play a lot last week with like the holidays and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
understandable.
but I feel like the Lich was like maybe a better performing game, and then the Phoenix game I did terribly. So,
Okay,
I think that'd be like two good pieces of data.
sure. Looks like a master tier lich. You have a Spectre as your laning partner, I think.
Yep.
No, oh, okay, he's flying himself items. Okay. So how often would you say you generally take your W on Lich level 1?
Pretty rarely. I feel like there I thought it was like I think I shielded, was it
The
Earthshaker or
Slardar.
someone? Slardar during that, and I thought like, oh man, the shield would have more impact on my Q. But yeah, I mean obviously like 95% of the time I think I take Q.
Okay.
5% take W. I don't know if I even ended up like the name during that skirmish, but I guess it kind of worked out for us. I remember wanting Inspector to farm the lane there. I was like, farm the lane?
You know why he went small camp?
Uh, I mean, I guess it's safer because he's so low HP.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this case, like the most efficient play is to farm lane. The most safe play is to farm camp. So, I mean, a lot of times, what matters in any role is to understand why people are doing what they're doing, rather than to wish them to do something else, basically. And I'm not saying like you were like bitching about him doing this, but what I'm saying is if you have a carry that's below half HP, they'll probably do this. You know, it's unpredictable because I would do it too. And some of your carries might stay under tower at half HP and die, you know? What
Yeah.
I'm saying though is that's his reason for doing it, and it's because one play is greedier and the other play is more safe. And since he's low HP, he's gonna go for the safe play. So your role when your carry goes to the small camp like this is to pull this wave off of tower to him ASAP.
Mm.
That's your role in this equation. So one role of support is to move creeps to your carry. That can be done through creep aggroing. If the lane's like up here, say you're more of a melee guy, that might happen sometimes. But this whole idea is that the carry always wants to be near creeps, but there's going to be times where they're low, or for some reason they can't walk up, but you can because they're like a drow and you're an ogre. Where in those type of cases, if you identify my carry's playing passively, the creeps are over here. Like whether it's because your carry's playing here and the creeps are up here, or whether it's because the carry's over here and the creeps are here, your job can be to move the creeps to that guy. And so defensive aggro would be how you do it over here. And drawing the creeps aggro here just by attacking them would be how you do it here. So that's like, so when you ask the question of how can I not feel so lost when I am playing higher MMR games, it's the way that people get out of low MMR is by being able to adjust to weird shit. So what I try to tell people is your goal is to repeat the same situation over and over. So like that's how you get out of low MMRs, because I've noticed that a lot of divine rank-ish people have like very consistent but too rigid of game plans. And for me, it's enough of a sample size to know that's how people get to divine, by having a really rigid, optimized plan that they execute a bunch of times. But to get past divine, you can't just be a one-trick pony in regards to how you play the game. It's like, you can have one hero that you play, but you have to like be able to adjust from game to game. But so it's kind of like, what I'm trying to say is in this case, learning to add and subtract is how do I create what I'm trying to do a bunch, and learning to divide and do algebra is how do I adjust given the formula, you know? So what you're in the stage of, and that a lot of people will feel stuck in their lower MMR games, especially when they have higher MMR friends, The section you're stuck in is adjusting to when people do stuff. So basically knowing that every time your carry is away from the lane for some reason, you are now confronted with, how do I get these creeps to him? Can I get the creeps to him? Like, if I walk up, do I die too? If, like, an example of this would be if the creeps are up here and your carry can't walk up because the pole camp got pulled, then it might be your job to walk over and defensive aggro the creeps back towards him. But if you're going to die too, you know, then the lesson learned is we should have blocked that camp. We have to be prepared for that ahead of time. But what I'm trying to say here, just to give you a second to speak, is that we are going to try, like in this case, what I mean by a repeatable thing is we want our carry hitting creeps. So to make that repeatable, we have to make sure he's near the creeps. So if he's not near the creeps, we're not doing our job. You know? So go ahead.
Oh, I think this is great feedback because I think generally whenever I do a pull like this, I'm always being like, oh, I usually farm those. And so I often don't think about, oh no, like I've secured safe farm for like a carry who needs to like heal up with a tango or something. And then I definitely have never thought about pulling that entire wave back towards them. And so would I try to pull it to clash with the wave that's like kind of between the tier 3, tier 2 right now?
You would pull it ideally, like if we're being super efficient, you would pull these creeps into the range creep.
Okay.
Because that would deny the range creep before these die off, ideally. That's the perfect play. Like, there are layers to this, right? It's like, if it was as simple as move the creep wave to the guy, then I could make somebody immortal in like a week, right? But the question you're asking there is what I mean by 1% improvement over time. You know now, after this session, that if there's going to be reasons your carry can't walk up, you have a good sense of what you want him to be doing. The standard formula is you pull small, you farm small, he sits under tower farming. That's the standard, right? And you're aware of the standard. So, but what's happening is that people can get to about your MMR around 2K-ish with a good understanding of what standard roles in the game of Dota 2 is. But I try to give you guys a little bit more of an advanced version of how you visualize the game. So I've noticed that people around like 2 to 3K are very rigid in what they think the role of a hero is. Like, I farm the pull, you farm lane, as an example, right? So what's actually trying to be done is I'm pulling these creeps so that we can farm the small camp and the lane. It doesn't matter who does it. It just... that's what's happening. And the more dangerous spot is the one in lane. Like, just knowing that, generally speaking. And there's going to be times where your carry can't walk up and hit creeps. And there's nothing you can fucking do about it. There's just nothing. But the whole idea is knowing it's your job to get them near the creeps, if possible. So you are confronted with a puzzle every time of... okay, I've now learned that every time this situation happens, I'm going to drag the creeps towards my Spectre. Wait a minute. In the meantime, I could kill my range creep off at the same time. Huh. You know, like you just think of like the next step. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the repeatable question here is, how do I get the creeps to my carry? That's the repeatable question. So...
and like you said, I think it makes sense Spectre farming small camp, especially if it's low, but also with the bristleback who could dive easily, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I remember bristleback being quite aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, you did a good job saving him there. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but your W doesn't mitigate his quills.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah. It's actually why Bristle's like one of Lich's worst matchups in the game. That's just more of a fun, like, did you know, sort of.
Yeah, like, read these abilities.
It's what's odd about Dota is Lich is while the shield is active, it reduces damage from attacks. So if it's physical damage that's not an attack, it doesn't reduce it.
I see.
Yeah,
Well,
Dota for you.
hopefully not. Yeah.
Okay, so you salve the guy, you're gonna drag creeps away from him. So in this case, move the creeps towards him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In this case, you're actually just putting yourself in massive danger to take a bunch of damage, and you're actually setting them up to dive.
Yeah. I definitely televisioned on that with Watcher.
Yeah,
that was
so
dumb.
here's the cool part. You're not allowed to think about the rest of the game until you feel very confident that your carry's hitting creeps and this lane is safe.
Mhm.
So what's one example of the lane not being safe? They have 3 fucking range creeps.
Mhm.
That's like, oh god, they can dive us. You know?
Mhm.
So one thing to be like consistently aware of as a support is just what's the lane equilibrium doing? You know?
Mhm.
And we can kind of just get a sense of, are we in danger?
Mhm.
And so what happens here is when you're in danger, you learn to not move your camera around the map. You learn not to go ward somewhere. You learn not to go get a watcher. So we have to be keenly deciding, like consciously deciding, there's nothing to do here. So I'm going to go do something else. Like, I want your trigger for going to a different lane to doing anything that's not laning is my carry near creeps? Are they
Mhm.
safe? Okay, nothing for me to do here. And then go.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So it's kind of like shifting the priorities from, I know there's a bunch of useful stuff to do. Go pick up bounties, go stack camps, go check runes, go get the watcher on the side there. But all of
Mhm.
these things come second to what's the lane equilibrium doing and are we in danger?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how we avoid tunnel visioning, by being very, very conscious of what our priorities are.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay.
Now I know that shield was not doing much to protect him.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Just something where you only put it in one point. Okay. So what's interesting about this is that you pull, which is already a little bit scary because your Spectre has no HP, right? It's a little bit scary to pull like this. But
Okay.
what I'm trying to show you is this situation does not tell me my Spectre is going to be safe. So what I'm doing here is the same thing I saw at 2 minutes, where he's going to go for this camp and I'm going to walk here.
Mhm.
You see how, like, it's predictably the same scenario?
Mhm.
But if you're monitoring what's going on with the lane, what is my carry likely to do and stuff, if he stays there, you need to protect him anyway, because if he's full HP, this is a different story, right?
Mhm.
If he's full HP, then you pull that camp and you can walk mid or TP mid or whatever, you know?
Mhm.
But so this is more just reinforcing how this is playing out at different stages of the lane. Like, now you're looking mid, going somewhere else, when I'm like, ah, shit, your Spectre's super low. Like, I'm actually surprised the Spectre didn't get dove there. The Bristleback just kind of let him have it. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Like, I didn't set him up for success.
Yeah. So what role does your brother play?
He's actually a support main too, but when he plays with me, he's often playing like mid or position 1.
Okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess my thought is that, you know, if you play duo queue with a core, meaning if you're just queuing with a core player on your team and you're laning together, if you guys can actually have like meaningful discussions about when it's okay to leave and stuff, like things to consider when it's okay to
Mhm.
leave lane. And the
Mhm.
thing is, if I'm playing with a lower MMR player and the only time I discuss this is during the game, I'm just going to say, just leave, dude. Because, like,
Right.
I can't articulate my fucking thoughts to you in the middle of a game, right?
Right.
Um,
Focus on last hitting and all that.
yeah, but I think you would learn a lot after this coaching session if you go in with, hey, BSJ taught me that I need to think about what's the status of the lane? You know, hey, you can tell your brother, in this situation, I thought I was good to leave. Do you agree? You know,
Mm-hmm.
what about you? You know, and then maybe he'll
Yeah.
present you with a factor you didn't consider, you know?
Yeah, and I do feel like the times I've played position one, like I play position one life stealer, and I do find myself in these situations where I'm like losing lane, and I just can't get any amount of like I'm not getting these waves because they're like controlling the pool so much. And I'd have had my support, leave and rotate or whatever, and I'm like, oh man, dude, no, I need a little bit more babysitting here, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I got you. I
so
got you. I mean, overall, you did a pretty good job babysitting. It's just more about the exact moments where you're doing other things. It's clear that you weren't looking at lane equilibrium and stuff, and that is a big gauge of when you're supposed to leave the lane and stuff.
Oh yeah, this is Zeus gang too. That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was. I stayed too long.
I'm watching here. UTP top.
I stacked that camp.
I
I'm
don't
not sure
know
why.
about that. It's literally their camp. This is
Oh,
crazy
that's-
shit you're doing here.
yeah,
Okay.
that was really bad.
Okay.
I remember that.
Okay.
Wow, weird watching a replay like this and seeing your
Okay.
mistakes.
So, what is your thought in regards to being in this lane now? Like, what's going through your head?
I think what's going through my head is letting Spec solo farm, which now thinking about it in this session, I don't know if that's even a good idea, but and so trying to put pressure on their position one Wind Ranger. And so with Slardar, and I think I remember their lane being like kind of like no one really winning. So seeing if I can kind of like, pressure their position one out of lane to have to farm jungle. And then I don't know what I was thinking when I went to proxy that way. I think I was definitely not understanding that I was level 5 still and can't do that.
Okay. I got you. 1 second. I'm typing these out for you.
Oh, appreciate it, thank you. Yeah, this is kind of like an awkward. 'Cause it's like almost 9 minutes. I feel like laning phase is about to end, and so I died. Also, pretty silly bot.
Okay.
I remember getting in situations where I'm like, where do I teleport to? You know?
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a simple question. Are you in farm mode or fight mode right now? Why?
I think I'm in farm mode.
Why?
Trying to hit level 6.
Okay. So you're level 5.5. This guy's level 5.5. This guy's level 5.5. So you're in farm mode. What is your... If you were to ask yourself this question, would you still dive this guy?
No.
What would you do as a support if you're in farm mode?
Try to absorb experience.
Okay.
Probably, which
Yeah, so...
with this lane be kind of hard. It's been split 3 ways now. So, yeah.
So...
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
I mean, I'm showing it to you.
Yeah. Oh, I should probably go. I should have
So
rotated.
what the farm versus fight mode is that I get a kill, the game is over, or the current gank is over. Let me current gank. Current gank is over. How quickly do I ask myself the question? Are we in farm mode or fight mode? fight mode means we keep going,
Mm-hmm.
right? Farm mode means we reset a little bit and we go farm.
Mm-hmm.
So this applies at every stage of the game. You know, the difficulty of checking in on this is how people end up over chasing, because they don't ask themselves this question at some point in the fight, and they don't see that their teammates have no HP and no ults, and they keep chasing, and they're like, where'd my team go? So it's like very difficult to do this at 40 minutes into the game. It's possible, and it's an important question, but it's very difficult, right? So it's very easy in comparison. It's not easy, but easier in comparison to do it at 8 minutes. So we get this we get this kill, and we ask ourselves, are we in fight mode or farm mode? So what you're going to do is you're going to collect information after you've decided that. You're like, oh, I think, looking at us, we're going to collect a little bit of information. Level 5, level 5, level 5. I think we're in farm mode. Okay, what's going on down here? Okay, what's going on over here? Okay, you know, maybe if it was 8:44, you'd go stack this camp. You know, is there a camp for me to stack or something? But
I also have cooldowns right now. It's probably not a good time to fight.
yeah. So what the point is, though, is the number one thing you'll check as a support is the lanes. Unless you're a support that can jungle, which the majority can't, you would look at mid lane. You'd see this, and you would start walking. Right? But if you're not asking, am I in farm mode or fight mode, then checking the lanes, you're never going to make any of that decision. Right? So what's going to happen if you start doing this is it's going to be really slow. And you're probably going to miss the majority of that creep wave mid. That's what's going to happen. Right? But if you ask yourself this every fucking game after every fucking gank, eventually you'll process this pretty fast. Right? You'll be like, fight or farm mode, what's the lanes doing? Oh, mid's pushing in, go. Like, it'll be very quick. And that's going to prevent you fighting at level 5.5 while seeing this. Right? That's what's going to prevent it. So we don't want to worry about this specific play. We want to worry about the things you're doing that lead to this happening. I mean, this is just kind of nuts. I don't even want to talk about this. I respect your courage. I respect your courage, I guess we could. So then we ask ourselves, I'm level 5 2/3, and there's a lane here. Run it back, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I stayed top for a while.
Okay.
Let's say hit 6 finally. Oh.
Okay. You have some cool plays that you do. You're like one of those players that has some swag, but we don't move our camera. So something I have to tell like 99% of support players, and I always have to figure out different ways of explaining it based on the particular way people are doing it, is, okay, when I have 3 or more heroes in a lane pre 15 minutes, I think you will benefit from asking the exact question is, what the fuck are we doing here? And that requires you to look at what else you could be doing.
Right.
Meaning, look at other lanes.
Yeah.
So I want you having 3 heroes in your lane to mean you need to look at other lanes. Like, so if you end up kind of AFKing on the side for a second, that's fine. But like, it's so important that you understand what you're missing on the map. If you look around the map and you're like, there's nothing else I could be doing right now, then fine. Sit as 3 heroes in lane. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
But what I never want to see, what my goal for you would be to never see you sitting in lane as 3 with a mid wave not farmed. So that requires you, when you're sitting in lane as 3, to check other lanes. Any questions about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just needs to be like more in my consciousness, because it's like, yeah, like why did I teleport top again? Like I don't know. I think I was just kind of like top is where I am now, right? And
Yeah.
not thinking what's
Mm-hmm.
going on mid, what's going on bot, how's my carry doing, right? And
Yeah.
just like kind of like we said, moving the camera around.
The way I like the analogy I gave earlier, first time ever doing it. If you leave your carry behind, I don't know if you bake, I don't really bake, but I think you'll get the
Mhm.
analogy anyway. It's like putting your pastry in the oven. You don't
Yeah.
need to literally sit at the oven making sure that pastry is cooking properly, but you
Hmm.
occasionally have to check it to make sure it's not burning and shit.
Hmm.
So when you leave your carry behind, you just have to check the pastry in the oven and then keep
Yep.
doing what you're doing. Then check the pastry. Then keep doing what you're doing. Check pastry. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. I like that.
You want to make sure
Yeah.
you're not burning down your kitchen while you're enjoying the rest of your life, which is the
Hmm.
rest of the map, right?
Hmm.
And sometimes, you'll look there and be like, the pastry's burning and there's nothing I can do about it, you know?
Hmm.
But, that it doesn't quite pay out to a real life analogy. But yeah, that's the analogy that I give is you just need to be aware that by forgetting about it, you might burn down your kitchen.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yep, going top again.
Yes, so it's getting this. If we can get you every time you're grouped with your team to do this,
Hmm.
and this is like the first 15 minutes, this is when you kind of just ask yourself, should I be here right now? And my thought is, your ult's down for 20 seconds. Go walk mid, nuke it out, and walk back. Like, you
Hmm.
want to look at this and be like, there's no better time for me to fight than right fucking now. We have Echo Slam, we have Haunt, we have my ult. Go.
Hmm.
Like, if you can come up with one reason why you shouldn't be here, in hindsight, you should have gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
So what happens a lot in low MMRs is either people never do something, like they literally never group up, or they sit together too much. They're both like the opposite extremes of the same coin or whatever,
Hmm.
And so when we're grouped up, it's a very important thing. The opposite side of this is you have Haunt, Echo, Blink on Slardar, Blink on Earthshaker, and everybody's farming.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like both
Yeah.
are bad. um,
Hmm.
but in this case, you tend to be on the side of helping your team a little bit too much. So we want to get you to separate from your team a bit more often. And that's how you're going to have like a Pavis at 30 minutes or 13 minutes instead of like 16.
Hmm.
You're going to be level 8 instead of level 6.5 because
Hmm.
you're getting those extra creep waves. And it's like,
Yeah,
go ahead.
split experience. Yeah, no, that's good feedback. I think it's like I've encountered so often, especially my MMR, where it's like people get stuck in Farmville forever, and no one's really considering things like, late game potential of heroes or stopping their juice from farming. And so I think I've like overcompensated for that by like basically kind of having a very aggressive, like fight lots mentality.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. So I would equate this to the same issue as when I pulled that camp. Why is my Spectre farming it?
Hmm.
It's you just need to identify what you don't like. You need to be able to explain to yourself why we're waiting too long. And it can't be because they have better late game than us. There needs to be
Hmm.
something about your team could do something with the spells you currently have. Like, I look at our items, I look at our spells, we could be doing something right now. I don't care
Hmm.
about like late game scaling and shit. I care about looking at the exact freeze frame of what you're in and being
Hmm.
like, we could be doing something. We have Echo Slam, Haunt, like, let's go. And then you
Hmm.
communicate that to your team, like, hey guys, we have Echo Slam and Haunt, like Earthshaker, come smoke.
Hmm.
So if you're able to identify why it's bad to just sit here, then you will be able to communicate better and also have a clearer picture. But at the same time, when you see your team farming, there's going to be times where it feels bad, but if you look at them, they have like 600 gold off of a BKB or something.
Hmm.
And you're like, okay, guys, let's wait for this guy's BKB, and then we go, But then we don't
Yeah.
want to end up with our team all the time. So then if on the opposite side of that coin, if we see our team all together, I want to check, should we even be together right now?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, we're just asking the
Yeah,
question. So,
yeah. If everyone's ults off cooldowns and
yeah.
people aren't hitting their timings.
Why are
Yeah.
we farming? Should we be?
Hmm.
Freeze frame the game state right now rather than arbitrary, like, who scales better.
Hmm.
It's not that I've tried to lean away from people asking that question because it's in the right mindset, but it's not the helpful version of the question. It's more like looking at the snapshot of the game. How would a fight play? It's like, oh, Earthshaker blinks on Wind Ranger and echoes him, and I follow up with my W and Spectre haunts, and he dies. And it's like,
Hmm.
okay, cool. Like, that makes sense. That's how the fight would play out. Rather than they have anti-mage, they have better late game. That's the kind of description people give me, and I'm like, okay, what do I do with that? It's 14 minutes in the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not
Yeah.
wrong. It's just not actionable. Do you see the
Right.
difference? It's not actionable.
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're making
Like
it actionable.
it's kind of like um I don't know, it's just like a naive, or it's just like a simple equation to think like, oh yeah, they have a Dusa, they have an AM, we should like pressure this game to not get to 40 minutes where they'll be able to solo us. So if you think about it instead about being actionable in a snapshot, because like whatever the dynamic state is, like you said, based off like cooldowns or item timings and stuff,
Yes,
that's the
exactly.
better way.
You will get better answers on this type of stuff. Like, what will happen is, it's not that they're perfect, but Immortal players, when you play your party queue games, it will be more often appropriate what they're doing. Like,
Hmm.
they have all their ultimates, they're probably doing something. Like, the
Hmm.
odds are much higher, right, than
Hmm.
people in your games, right? So you can use
Definitely.
those games as like a helpful indicator of like what could be happening in games.
Hmm.
But in these games, the way that you're going to climb MMR is by not being the problem.
Hmm.
Not being the Blink Earthshaker with Echo who's jungling. Not being
Right.
the Lich with level 5.5 farming or fighting with his team. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you gain MMR. Because
Hmm.
the thing is even in my games, people don't do things optimally. I will have times where people are just learning a new hero, and maybe it's
Hmm.
me learning a new hero, and I just literally feel these guys just don't know how to play their hero, or I'm just like, I don't know how to play my fucking hero. And people are so
Yep.
busy clicking their buttons on the hero that they're not looking at the map. Like,
Yep.
if I'm new to a hero, my map awareness is not very good, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're trying to remember, oh wait, how does this person flash farm?
And what's the
Like,
cast range on this spell, and how much
yeah.
damage does it do? Like, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? So,
Yeah.
the idea is that there's a lot of reasons why people fuck this up, and it never ends. So
Hmm.
the most important part is to lower the percentage of time that you are the one fucking it up, and
Hmm.
then you will 100% gain MMR, even if there's games where you do it really well and you still lose. Because
Yeah.
sometimes at the end of the day, you're a support and your teammates are too heavy. Like, it just
Yeah.
happens sometimes,
Hmm.
right? But if we,
Yeah.
I assure everybody, if you focus on your contribution to this and minimize the amount of times that you're not helping in lane when you need to be based on it, the amount of times that you are fighting with your team when there's a lane to be cleared and you're not quite ready to fight, the amount of times that you're jungling when you're really strong, the amount of times where you're like a saving hero and the guy on your team who's really strong, if he has protection and you're not sitting behind him, you know what I mean? Like, this is the type of stuff that the lower amount of time you're fucking it up, basically, like people. I actually read this Reddit post. I'm going to go on a small ramble where the guy talked about leaving Dota because Dota used to be about the epic plays and now it's about fucking up less. And then a lot of the comments were like,
Hmm.
that's just literally every competitive sport that's optimized. Like,
Yeah.
that's
That's actually just like the nature of any game.
that's just how it works. And
Yeah, I
I thought that
agree.
was really funny. So it sounds like you're aware of this.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that thread, but
You're aware of the
I,
dynamic.
Where like kind of game theory in general, I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be kind of sad to be like, chess used to be about, you know, the moment and finding cool strategies. Like, no, chess is about understanding every single game state and doing the most optimal decision.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of sad, but like,
Yeah, okay, so you understand this then. You get it.
yeah.
Okay, so you got your item. You're going to buy your smoke now. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. You're like, you're clearly like, okay. So you got your Pavis and you're following your OD around. Like for me, that's like, that's good. That's just good shit.
Okay.
Let's just fast forward here. Like you're following the more aggressive guy that needs a little bit of defense. You're going to smoke him here. You're going to place, looks like a deep ward or something. Oh no, OD placed the ward. That's fine. You're going to nuke the wave while in smoke. You're going to loop around. I mean, this is kind of cool, to be honest. Like, I like this. I can tell you play with high MMR people. This is cool. It's not like perfect execution, but it's like damn good. Okay. Okay. So. Kill this guy. Are we done now? We're done?
I think we tried to...
Oh, I didn't mean to rewind. So these are the moments that are going to make you 2K. What do we do now? Fight's over.
Tower?
Our heroes. We have a Slardar half HP, Earthshaker half HP. Do these heroes have buildings?
Earthshaker with W?
Come on, bro. Like, he's a support.
No?
He's a support.
He is a support. That's right. That's right.
Okay. So,
yeah.
So, we are all half HP with no ults.
Reset.
Reset. Where do we go?
Yeah. Stack hands.
I'm asking you right now in the current game state.
A mid looks open.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the whole idea is we do this, check this, TP here. Right? That's what we do here.
Yeah, and then I think I get caught here. Probably. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I see. I keep the aggression up when enforcing my low HP hero to fight.
For me, if what happens is Spectre ends up taking the wave because you didn't, he would have just jungled and stayed top. I just want to say that you doing this kept the team here. It's okay if that's what we want, but for me, I'm just like, is there a better time to be doing this?
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I look at this situation. Is it like the end of the world? We're up by 5K. We can kind of be aggressive. The thing is, if you TP here, push out the wave, and then like maybe like D-ward and then walk back because your team decides to stay, that's like a different scenario than you forcing the issue. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like that would be their decision. So I would be reacting to them instead of me forcing them to stay.
And as a support, you're an enabler. You're not an initiator. So, like meaning with this specific hero. So with that in mind, we want the way you play the map to match that. Does that make sense? So you going in first, you're actually kind of baiting your half HP initiators to be here.
Yeah.
That's how I think about this.
Yeah, that's very bad.
You really want that fucking tower.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Okay. I'm playing really aggressive. Yep. Okay.
It's like, we can kind of predict you're going to do this, but it's even worse than we thought. Do you know what I mean? So, if we can get you snapping out of fight mode, just that moment, you're looking for it. You don't need, you're looking at a red light, or you're looking at a green light, like the exercise here is you're looking at a fucking green light. You don't need to do anything other than watch it to wait till it's red. And the red light equivalent is all of the Dota mechanics of, do we have ults? Do we have HP? Do we have resources? Are we tower hitters? Dude, your lineup on a scale of 1 to 10 hitting towers is like a 2. You have literally nobody that hits towers.
Yeah, good point.
So the odds of you turning kills into towers in this particular game is very low. So a great question. What does my lineup do with kills? Towers, Roche, more kills, farm. What does my lineup do? Oftentimes, long cooldown lineups are just go get kills, farm until cooldowns, go get kills, right?
Yeah.
So your lineup is a go get kills with ultimates, farm until ultimates are up, go with ultimates, farm, right? So
until death timers can be long enough to where we can actually take towers.
Precisely. Yeah, and your lineup also does Roche pretty decently. So you have Slardar plus Spectre, especially when she gets Manta and stuff like that. But the whole idea here is that I can tell your execution in fights, like you had some swag plays up here, except for this weird dive thing. You had like this, like your execution in these fights was pretty good. Your execution during the smoke, your pathing, like you have pretty good intuition of your positioning, nuking waves. Like there was a guy that was 3K here playing support earlier, and I had to teach him this type of stuff. So you're ahead of the game on that, but you simply don't snap out of it.
Yeah.
And that's actually a pretty crippling thing that can be fixed. Like I trust the 1% fixing on that sort of thing. I trust that in the long run it will pay off. So let's take a quick.
Even what you said earlier about like assessing my team's like ability to take towers. I feel like that's not something I do a lot, but I should. Yeah, because even that, like, it's like, why am I pressuring this tower so much? We actually don't have the heroes to do that right now.
So this is me showing you, to the best of my capabilities, that I understand you. I was like, if you remember, I paused at 1841 and I said, "This is where we learn your MMR." Remember that?
Yeah.
So I want you to remind yourself, this is where my 2K shows. Okay? Is after fights, after a kill, whether it's 8 minutes in and you killed a single witch doctor, after it's a team fight at 18 minutes, whether it's a team fight at 40. The thing is in Dota is the time where the enemy's dead is the time where we can get the most done because they aren't stopping us, right? So we can split up and farm, we can take objectives, we can go hunt for another guy when they're respawning, because like when they're respawning, they're probably going to go pick up the waves, right? So the whole idea is there's so much we can set ourselves up for success, and what I'm predicting I would see if I watched a lot of your games is that every good play that happens for you, you don't capitalize on it well. You're pretty good at setting up the good play. You're following the right people. You're using smokes, taking good paths, buying good items. So I trust you'll do that part, but not this part. You know, I literally, before we saw how it played out, I predicted, I'm like, we're going to see your MMR right here. And, you know, then we just watch you ram your face into this tower for the next minute with no ults, right? Yeah, and it just ends up eventually getting awkward, where they wear you guys down and OD barely escapes, goes back to base. Would you like to spend the last 10 minutes or so on your Lich replay or your Phoenix replay?
No, I think we could stick to this game.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm already kind of like learning so much.
Okay, cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we do end up winning this game, but it's really insightful, like all the mistakes I'm making, even with the game that we win. Right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad to hear it's going well for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is a game where the percentage of time you guys are sieging buildings is 0. So when I asked what does my lineup do well, I would like give yourself a rating. 1 to 10 for each of these. Towers, Roche, and kills, and farm. Right? So your team is actually pretty good at Roche. I don't know if you know that. They're like, OD's pure damage works against Roche, Slardar minus armor. Your team is like an 8 or 9 out of 10 Roche team.
Wow.
Like, pretty solid. So it's kind of laughable when you think about it that you guys are ramming your face into a tier 2. Literally none of your damage spells work on towers. But Desolate, Slardar Corrosive, and ODQ work on Roche. So You guys have a lot of bonus damage against Roche and 0 against towers, and we're just hitting towers a lot. So if you're the one that identifies that and says, hey guys, we have OD plus Slardar ult, let's plus Slardar minus armor, let's go kill Roche. Like, if you say that to your team, there's an X% they listen to you, right?
Yeah.
I just coached a guy live where he had a Wind Ranger that could go kill their drow, and we smoked, and he said, like, drew the line and everything, and the guy just went back and farmed. You know, it's like sometimes people just won't listen, but in my experience, it's at least 50-50, and every time they're not listening to you, it's the same anyways, right? So so that is purely because your lineup's being played incorrectly, which is hitting towers.
Yep.
Also, are my heroes on map heroes or off map? Do you know what I mean by that?
On map or off map? Does that mean, like, do we want to show?
Yes, that is what it means.
Okay. I mean, with a Spectre Global, I would say probably yes.
It's each individual hero. It's not like a lineup as a whole. Each individual hero.
Okay.
So
Oh,
you're
like
saying
this?
Spectre doesn't
No.
mind showing, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
What about
I guess
Slardar and
that's-
Earthshaker?
No, they don't. They wouldn't want to show, right? Because they would want to, like, blink in.
Heroes that rely on blink and information are heroes that don't want to show, right?
Yeah.
So if we don't want to show, guess what we don't do? Hit buildings.
Right. Yeah.
So
wait for them to make the mistake.
So even identifying which heroes on your team are on map, off map can tell you a lot about how you're supposed to play the game. These are just indicators for you. Your hero's the on-map hero this game. You're actually really good at clearing waves for your team because Earthshaker and Slardar don't really want to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a point in the game where Slardar becomes an on-map hero. Do you know why?
Is it once he gets BKB?
Once he gets his level 20 talent plus shard. Because he one-shots creep waves.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So his Slithering Crush plus shard. It's not that he wants to show all the time, but he doesn't mind killing creep waves, is what I mean by that.
Because he can flash farm it?
Yeah, he literally kills it instantly. So.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's a combination of not only do they show in general, but how much are they willing to show. Slardar, because of sprint and everything, doesn't mind blink crushing and sprinting away. You know, he doesn't mind that. Okay. So this is an example where, you know, you could try to orchestrate, hey guys, we have all our ultimates, Earthshaker, come to me. Like, you could say something like that, and X percentage of the time, he's not going to walk down here and die. So it's all like, right now you're doing it 0. If you did it once or twice a game, it would have positive impact. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just every extra time you're doing it, every time you gain awareness of what does our team lineup do? When is the fight over? When should we be fighting? What should we be doing with it? Every time you're able to snap into that during the game, it's going to be a bonus from what you're currently doing. So, I mean, I like how active you're trying to be. I mean, generally speaking, I mean, I just like that stuff. Like, you're even clearing the wave here, which, yeah, I mean, you're using items well to get away. Is it gonna work? Oh my god, it worked. We are gonna be wrapping this up in just a sec here.
Of course. This is, but I appreciate your feedback. This is great.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Glad to hear it. So this is an example where you went back to base. Let's take a gander at the map right now, right? So, old school down, dead, half HP. Are we in fight or farm mode?
Should be in farm mode.
So we would look at this. Oh, it's pushing in. There's 3 range creeps. We'd look at this. Oh, it's going to be like right here. So I'd choose this one.
Yeah.
And then I would go like, oh, is there something else over here? Oh, there's some lotuses. Let's go pick those up. Oh, it's 28 minutes. Let's go pick up this XP shrine.
Yeah,
So
I like that because I often find myself, like, especially when I get caught or I die, or I guess not placing teleported out, but it's like, where do I go, right? like I'm like, it's like you're at base, you have to make a decision, and you're like,
Yep.
usually where you teleport to, and I'm like, where am I going? And I think it's like here, it's like I'm still going mid because that's where my team is. But you're right, like we probably should retreat back in the farm
Are
mode.
we in fight or farm mode's going to fix this problem for you if you get yourself asking the question? Because then you'll collect the necessary information, you'll get better at collecting that faster, and then once you're farming, as long as you don't walk to your team, there's options. But I gave you the best option, and I gave you examples of, oh, there's triple range creep, it's going to be pushed into here. Oh, this one's not a double range creep, so it'll be about right here. Like, that's how I see the game. So I'm like, oh, this one's triple range creep. Okay, there's always Wisdom Shrine at 28. I'm going to walk here, go pick this up, finish my Aether Lens, maybe set up my team to take this tier 2 tower, ping them, draw a line on the map. That's what I would do. Or I would literally push this and say, hey, team, let's go Rosh. That's actually what I would do here. But you guys should have taken Rosh like 10 minutes ago. But it's fine. The whole idea is if you fix the am I in fight or farm mode, there's an infinite pool of creativity for you in there. It's just, don't walk back to your team. You just know that there's some people who AFK too much, you go towards your team too much. And the only way to really fix these two extreme problems is to truly understand the reasons that people would gravitate towards one extreme. People who farm too much have probably lost faith in their teammates. People like yourself who play around their team too much have probably lost faith in like being able to win late game because their teammates draw the game out too long, right?
Yeah, and that's a common thing in my MMR, right? 60-minute games.
Yep. So just knowing you're aware, like that's what you're avoiding, and instead of avoiding the negative, we can just draw attention to what are the actual guidelines that help us know what to do here. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally.
Cool, man. Would you have any final questions about that?
No, I mean, I think a lot of times too, when people talk about like feedback for Dota, right? It's like we always get into things like I think people just pick the easiest thing to talk about, which is things like item builds or skill, like how you skilled or whatever. And I think I often find myself thinking about that too. And I think part of me was thinking that this session would be like, you're like, oh, I mean, you mentioned it earlier with level 1, why'd I choose W first? But I think what I liked your advice way better, which was more about like the actual game state and like, like the, more optimal decisions, right? Like grouping with your team or farming or like not overextending and things like that. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, just a real quick thing is the reason I asked you about your W is I knew it was atypical, but I have to understand why you did it. Like, so at the very beginning of the session, it was more me calibrating to how does this person think? So it wasn't me like flaming you or wondering like, what the fuck is he doing? It's just, okay, that's different. Why'd you do it? And some people will be like, I just do that every game. And some people will be like, normally I do this, but in this exact scenario, Slardar was running in at the rune and there were 4 heroes, so I W'd him. And it's like, okay. It's like, what I'm getting there is this guy thinks about what he's doing. Like, but like, I'm just letting you know that that is why I was asking that question. So cool, man.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
I'm glad you got out some. I'm glad you enjoyed the insightfulness of the session. I had a nice session myself, and
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and bid you adieu there, man. Thank you for that. Was a pleasure. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, have a good day.
You too. Peace. Yeah, we're just a bit late to our coaching class. I feel bad because the guy just had some, innocent problems there, but I am late to my coaching class, so let's just get that started there. Hey guys, sorry I'm a bit late there. The student had just had some trouble getting into the coaching session, so we started a bit late. And I felt bad robbing him of his hour, so even though it would have been, it's okay, whatever. We got 4 questions for today, so we shouldn't really have an issue hitting everybody, so this should work out just well, or just fine. Small announcement for the class. So Sunday, if you guys missed it, we did a bit of a lecture on CS training drills, things that will help you mechanically apply stuff in lane, like lane equilibrium and and attacking mechanics and stuff like this. So what next Sunday is going to be, if you didn't hear this already, is that next Sunday is going to be me watching you guys 1v1 each other with no abilities, applying the mechanics that you guys learned yesterday. This is my goal of the Sunday classes is to have alternating between learning something and then me watching you in practice the next week. We are going to be slowly gravitating away from submission classes. Exactly what the balance is going to be there's a strong chance that we end up not doing any submission classes. But I just want to let you guys know that that's a tentative direction that the classes are going to... Can you guys not hear me? Am I just talking to a wall? My mic says it's working. Hello? Can you guys not hear me? Huh. That is really strange. It's literally telling me I'm broadcasting my sound. That's really strange. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's really strange because like on Discord, it was telling me my sound was going through and everything. So I gave a bit of an announcement. I'm not gonna... Basically, we're changing up the structure of our classes. And I'll keep you guys posted on what that's going to look like going into the new year. But we are almost certainly in the next few weeks doing some drastic overhaul. And on Sunday, this coming Sunday, we're going to be doing effectively me working with you guys live on applying the CS drills that we talked about yesterday. So that's what Sunday's class is going to be. And I did apologize for being late, and I got caught up with my student because they were a bit late. But I try to make that, I try to hope you guys don't feel like you weren't a priority. So, without further ado, let's just jump into question number 1, which is eclipsing binary. Yo. So, hello. You said that you posted this in the Ask BSJ Anything channel. But okay, you were curious to hear my thoughts on my personal experience climbing to high MMR and someone who's coached a wide array of players. You're wondering what's like the most meaningful way to practice, it sounds like. What's like your distribution of time? But it's also for people that aren't looking to go pro. You're not playing Dota 60 hours a week or something. So you're limited on time. If our goal is to improve as efficiently as possible, roughly how should we allocate our Dota time to the various types of activities that players could do to get better? So some examples you gave are drills, playing pubs, analyzing replays, pro matches, etc. Is there anything you'd like to elaborate on, my friend?
I think that the question is basically that I'm asking because, of course, we all have limited time to devote to Dota. So I guess if we, want to prioritize efficient improvement, right? Because like I feel like for me at least, if I just spam pubs, right? After a certain point, there's kind of diminishing returns and all that stuff where, I start to get burnt out and I'm really thinking about stuff, kind of just playing autopilot and whatever. So I'm just wondering, in your experience with various kinds of students and in your own personal journey, what have you found to be the most effective use of time among all these different things?
I got you. So what's interesting about this question is I'm going to nerd out a little bit. Is that me and Airfon, we have long-term vision for this community to eventually be. This is not anytime soon, but it's meant to be talking about lifestyle choices that are outside of just Dota that apply significantly to Dota.
I think the most impactful thing any Dota player can do that's limited on time, knowing that they struggle to find time to play the game, is to consciously set aside time during the week to play the game. I remember I had a student that she was a professional, meaning like outside of Dota, like she had a professional career. And the most impactful thing we did for her was we chose the 10 hours of the week that she was going to play Dota, and that she sat down and was like, I'm going to play Dota. I believe the number one misunderstood and underrated thing that gamers miss is that intentionality above all else comes with so many potential benefits that will play out with all the other things I'm going to answer here. So if you guys are asking me, it's not exactly your question, I promise I'll get into it. If you're asking me for the number one tip that would change the way Dota is for you in terms of your success, is to consciously choose how long you're going to play for, and then ask yourself afterwards, was I playing at my full potential? And if not, how many games in was I playing at my full potential? And adjust accordingly for your future sessions. So that's something that I did about 2 or 3 years ago, and it had a massive positive impact on my improvement as well as my enjoyment of the game, given the fact that I've been gradually scaling down how much I play Dota weekly. So that's number one. Now that just hypothetically we've decided that I'm playing Dota 10 hours a week, let's just work with that, right? So for me, drills are super important to spend anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes starting your session. It's game changing because it actually allows you, the way that Dota works, right, is you're going to play the lane every game, you're going to play the mid game, you know, play X amount of late games and stuff. You're going to get approximately the same amount of mechanical and mental practice on every stage of the game, leaning more towards the beginning because, you know, there's some arbitrary ending point that the game has. But drills allow you to say, my mechanics in regards to pressing these buttons, my mechanics in regards to CSing, my mechanics in regards to pulling properly, in regards to aggroing, in regards to item usage, these are lacking. I should practice these. So drills are super important for ever getting around to those 1 or 2 things, especially that everybody knows they have, where they're like, yeah, I'm just not the best armlet toggler, but I'm never going to get around to that because I don't buy armlet enough times and I don't whatever. It's like, for me, I was struggling on Primal Beast late game for 2 or 3 weeks. I just spent 5 minutes at the start of my stream spamming refresher Primal Beast combos. And now I'll never worry about it again. And if I ever play Primal Beast for the first time in a while, I drill it out for literally 20 seconds and it's good. Because I did all that practice. I don't have to drill out 10 minutes for 2 weeks. I can just do it for a very short amount of time because the muscle memory was established. So for me, drills are like 5 to 15 minutes at the beginning of your sessions. Playing pubs, analyzing replays, analyzing pro matches, educational content. So for me, educational content, I would separate from Dota because like the way I look at my life, for instance, is that I like to gather information and then intentionally apply it. But by intentionally applying it, if I'm being more intentional about playing Dota in general, I know what information I'm gathering. It's like, I know that I struggle with laning. I know that I'm drilling out laning. Let's just YouTube a video on laning and maybe take like one thing away from it, but that's something like I would do like on the train or walking towards coffee in the morning or something. That's how I would do it. But if that's not how you guys best function, then, you know, I would say maybe one video at the start of your week, you know, like before you play for a week or maybe 2 weeks, depending on how often you're playing. Maybe like one video for every 5 to 10 hours that you're playing, I think could be nice for educational content. In regards to, when you say coaching sessions, are you talking about watching them or getting them?
I guess I mean getting them because I feel like watching them would fall more under that content bucket probably.
Yeah, for me, I mean, the way my coaching sessions work is, you know, what I had with that last guy is I tell him a bunch of questions, and then, you know,
for me, my goal would be you never have to come back for coaching again. Like, that would be the success, because I did such a good job getting you to ask yourself questions that you can just run with it from there. It's never that simple. I'm just saying that's like a theoretical perfect. I would say for the average player who's playing 10 to 15 hours a week, one coaching session every month or two would be sufficient. Anything on top of that would be, I think, actually too much coaching. For if you're only playing 10 hours or so a week. In terms of analyzing own replays, reflection, and journaling, I personally think that the start of reflection is to understand when you need to reflect. So I think there has to be some degree of reflection after every single game. If you're the type that finishes a game and loads up into the next one, I think that's just a really dangerous habit that X percentage of the time you're going to be tilted carrying baggage from your previous game, and it's going to show. For me, I always try to do some sort of check-in right at the end of a game, where what I'm basically trying to gauge is what I just happened in that last game going to affect me in the next one? And that's why partially I stopped liking streaming pubs, is because there's the pressure to play again. When if I had a really bad pub off stream, I just go take a 20-minute break and go make some lunch or something. And even if I set aside 3 hours in the week to play Dota, I don't want to have to feel like that's a chore to get as many games done as possible. I want to approach those games with, how can I play all of these games optimally? If that requires me to take a 20-minute break after a really tilting loss, then so be it. That's how I would look at that. For me, playing pubs, if you're playing 10 hours a week, I'd say maybe 6 or 7 of those hours is pubs. In regards to like the reflection and journaling and stuff, a lot of times if I'm really pissed, and like I know I kind of already touched on this, but like for me, it's amazingly empowering for me to reflect and journal of sorts. And the way that I reflect and journal in the Dota equivalent is to look at my hero grid. That's the way that I reflect and journal with regards to my Dota. Is I say, okay, what is my current strategy? What is my approach? What problem is happening in my games? Like, what hero might fix this problem? So an example was that I'm off lane, I'm laning against double ranged, and I can't cut creeps and I can't lane. What the fuck do I do? And I'm like, oh, Batrider would be really good at dealing this. He can cut creeps while running away. So I'm going to try Batrider. I haven't gotten the chance, but I literally had like a reflection period yesterday and came to that conclusion. I had first tried Bristleback, didn't work very well. So I'm going to try Batrider now. In the safe lane, I noticed everyone's playing a bunch of ranged heroes, and I was like, oh, I'm also seeing a bunch of Necro. So I put Muerta in here, and then guess what? Like, I literally decided that yesterday, and then today I got a pub where I was carry, and they picked Necro, and I'm like, oh, Muerta, and then I fucking owned. But that was because like I did a reflection period where I'm like, God, there's a lot of Necros in my games, and there's range carries. Is there anything I'd like to pick? And then I just put Muerta here. So those reflections for me are trying to identify, what am I losing to? What's going wrong in my games? Like, why? What am I struggling with? What's the meta seem to be pointing me to? I'm just kind of drawing attention to what I'm experiencing. That's what's happening here. That's my equivalent of journaling. But for you guys, it could be completely different. What your journaling looks like, but it's more like that's the purpose for me in journaling of Dota, is why am I losing? How would I like to adjust to it? So then I'm much more intentional in my next pub. I don't randomly end up picking Muerta for no reason. I actually consciously decided to pick Muerta yesterday. And I've noticed it has a huge impact, because I even drilled out some dead shots off stream yesterday, meaning like I was just like, oh, like I need to be prepared to play Muerta. I still mechanically kind of sucked, but it was way better than before. And I say that because I hadn't played Muerta in like 6 months. So, and that was a total of 10 minutes thinking about what I should play, spending like 2 minutes of that using some spells on Muerta, planning out my items a little bit, and I had a really enjoyable game. And so a lot of people would just be like, well, that sounds like a lot of work for a fucking video game. And I'm like, well, for me, that makes the video game fun, because I come more prepared and I feel more in control of my wins and losses. So that feels good for me. And that's my long answer to your question.
Okay, got it. Thanks. Yeah, I would just maybe just one quick thing to touch on is
Yeah.
like, so in situations where we're not able to actually play the game, like right now, for example, I brought this up because I'm traveling for the holidays, right? So
For
like
sure.
we're not actually able to play, but we still want to try to do something to improve or to practice, quote unquote. What would you say about that?
I mean, it's what I would do with anything that I know I'll be doing in the future is like, okay, like what is my goal for 2026? Like if I'm thinking about real life, it's like what are my like I'm going to plan to set myself up for 2026. So if I'm you, it's like, okay, when am I going to play Dota next? What are the times I'm going to be playing and what heroes would I like to play? Like that's for me, I would be gathering some semblance of a plan for what I'm going to do when I come back. And if I already have a plan, maybe gather some awareness on the meta since there's a new patch. You know, like in this case, it would be useful if you feel like, oh, there's a new patch since I last played. Let's watch BSJ's meta update of what he says the meta is, you know? Like, that's just an example of something that could be useful for you. That's what I kind of want those videos to be, is people who aren't paying really close attention to the meta. I can give it to you what I've learned in a week in 20 minutes. That's what, like, I am kind of catering to people like that. You know, that's the audience I'm going for. And I'm just giving an example, you know, obviously shilling my own content here. But yeah, I'd be planning for getting the most enjoyment out of when I go back. If it's something that really matters to me and I care about, like, it's like if I take time away from the gym, it's like I still want to be in shape, you know. Same with Dota. And it feels bad to go back to the gym having done nothing, so I'll try to do some like yoga or like go for more walks if I'm traveling, something like this. So that when I go back to the gym, I'm not super fucking sore. The equivalent for Dota is I don't go in blindfolded, you know, like, oh shit, what's the meta? Oh shit, what's the items? Oh shit, like what hero am I playing? Like I want to not be blind going back, basically. Does that make sense?
Okay, yep, got it. Thank you.
Cool, man. No problem. I'm gonna boot you. Okay. I enjoy questions like that. We have a hero ID for Truthful Timmy here, Axe. Okay, let's check it out. You've got some questions about laning stage with Axe, it looks like. Okay. This person might not be here. No, they're here. Did you come up here? You did. Hello. I think one of my favorite games about my Twitch chat is what heroes BSJ not have visible. So one thing I've noticed in general different about Dota nowadays is you just have to buy more regen because of the nerf to regen, basically, from the flag bearer. It's pretty noticeable. So, like, for me, you know, the fact that you don't have, like, tangos on you, I'd be noticing. Seems like they're not really harassing you, though. Yeah, they're just not hitting you. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
sorry, I'm here. Just
Hello. It's really interesting. You just walked away from a creep wave here.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I mentioned that I fucked up.
Oh, I see. All right, I must have missed that part of the submission.
maybe I didn't actually write it, but yeah, I realized later on, like, okay, I just gave up a full wave.
Hmm. I'm curious what's stopping you from, like, cutting in a lane like this. Like, I'm noticing that, like, around 2 minutes, your Vino just kind of dips out. Or is it just, like right around... Yeah, he just dips out. Oh, where is it? It's coming here. Like, if I'm you right here, what I'm thinking is my Vino hasn't really done anything in the last, like, minute and a half. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that was kind of my thing. I wasn't sure. Honestly, I used to play a lot of Vanguard acts, so it was a lot easier to know when you can cut. And initially, I thought we could actually fight them, so that's why I went like for the bracers and didn't want to push. So that's why I scale Helix later on. I think you only can cut at like level 2. I tried cutting later on, but it was a bit too late, and then I even fed afterwards. But yeah.
Okay. So, the story for 99% of the people that I'm coaching is that we have to dial our awareness up like 10 out of 10. So, there's a lot of shit that you're thinking about, which are all relevant shit. Don't get me wrong. All I wish for you to see here is what I watched, which is on fast forward, I noticed my Venomancer's not really doing anything. Like, that's all I wanted you to see from this, because that's awareness of what's happening in this lane. Oh, this guy's not really doing anything. So for me, what that means is like brawling's not a thing, because my 4 position is just literally not doing anything. And it's not a flame. This is just simply observing, like, if we just watch the last 2 minutes. Like, what did this guy do in the last minute and a half?
We are actually in duo queue, so I was hoping that we can try and organize better, regardless of what happened early on. You know.
No. The thing about this is, it's fine that it's duo queue. I don't need him to be doing something. None of this is like, what is Venomancer doing wrong? It's like, when I watch this, if I'm your perspective, he's just jungling now. Like, he's just walking away. Like, he's not laning with you, right? So if he's not laning with you, you're not brawling. Like, that's like by definition how it works. So I actually think this can actually become a problem if you're duo queuing, because this sort of thing doesn't actually require your communication. The first step is to like be able to see what the other person's doing and just do. Just like, oh, he's chilling. So like, if you watch the last minute and a half, you'd just be like, oh yeah, he hasn't hit a hero. He left lane now. And you wouldn't take a second point in your W, and you'd probably queue up a Ring of Health here, and you'd go cut. Like, that's what would have happened. Do you see what I mean? I'm not trying to, like, dismiss anything you're asking. But, like, you just be like, oh, he left? Okay, that's fine. I'll just take a second point at E at level 3, and I'm just going to go over here. And, like, ditch this wave, probably.
Yeah.
So, the thing that's happening, I think, to so many Dota players is you guys are thinking about so many good things that you're missing what's literally fucking happening in front of your eyes. Like, your brains are so immersed in the strategic part of Dota where I just want you to tell me what's happening in the lane. And then I know as a Grandmaster tier Axe player, you'd be like, oh, my support's not really laning with me. I'm just going to buy a Vanguard and go cut. Like, that's what you would do.
Yeah, so like, if this was a random 4, I would definitely go do that. Or maybe think about, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't go Vanguard, but just something else, and I would just go cut. Since we're in duo queue, even though he hasn't done much so far. I'm still like kind of hoping for a bit more of a coordination, you know. So I guess that's my reasoning for going for that, regardless of the
I can
current state of
see
events.
your perspective. Coordination has nothing to do with it. He's playing his hero how he thinks it should be played, and you're playing your hero how you think it should be played. The question is, I think before either of you communicate anything to each other, given what the other person is doing with no communication, are you adjusting to it? Both of you
No.
should be able to say yes. What I'm saying is, like, both of you should be able to do what you would do regardless of party queue or not. Like, the party queue part is being like, okay, if you leave lane, I'm going to try to cut. And he's like, okay, I'm going to jungle. That works well for me. But, like, what we don't want is for him to be dipping out of lane playing for stacks, which is what he's doing, which synergizes with you playing Vanguard, and you laning. So if you want something for communication, which I can definitely help you there, is you guys can go into the lane with a set expectation of how you think you're going to play in terms of brawling and your plan. But in the lane itself, we would need to be able to detect that things aren't going according to plan. Like, we'd be like, oh, we were planning to fight them. And he's like, I feel like there's not much we can do here. I'm going to go play for stacks. And you're like, okay. And then this blade mail turns into a ring of health. Like, that would be the sort of communication where you start with a general idea of how you're playing the lane. And then you're both kind of assessing the lane with what's actually happening versus what you planned. And then kind of having like a check-in at some point. Like, you kind of get a good idea around when all the heroes are, it's like 3-4 minutes in, somewhere in there. Maybe sometimes earlier, maybe 2 minutes, you'll get like a good sense of what's happening in the lane. And sometimes it's like too late by then. But a lot of times you can adjust. A lot of times you can just be like, oh, it doesn't seem like much happening here. Queue up the ring of health. But it starts with having like a plan at the beginning of the game and knowing that the plan is more of a rough outline that's not going to be correct most of the time. But it's giving you like a base point to work off of. Does that make sense? I don't know if I helped
Yeah.
in terms of communication.
Go
ahead.
Would you say if you have the Ring of Health, would you finish the Vanguard still, or just the Ring of Health for the cutting and then go play male playing or phase playing and so on?
Let's see what happens at 7 minutes into the game. Like,
right.
Let's go cut at 320. And if you're like fucking free farm cutting, you finish the Vanguard. If you're getting fucking ganked by a mid ogre and they're killing you 4 times, I think you should go Brown Boots Blink. You know what I mean? But like, it boils down to every stage of the game adjusting, because you're a Grandmaster tier axe. We're at the point now where we can't just, like, we can go the same pool of items every game, but we can't just click the same item every time and decide that's good enough. We have to be like, what's currently happening right now? How do I adjust to it? Knowing what I know about this hero. But since you've played this hero so many times, if we get you asking yourself the right question, you already have all the knowledge. Like, if you died 4 times, are you going to go Vanguard into Blade Mail? It's like, no, you're going to probably go Blink. Like, because you need to go do something. You don't have space to farm. You know? But that's the stuff where, okay, at 4 minutes, nothing was really happening, so I'm going to go cut. Okay, what happens after, like, 2 minutes of cutting? Now I've got my next item. Like, I'd probably queue up the Vanguard, knowing that I would like to keep cutting. That's the ideal scenario. But then, like, 2 minutes later, I'm going to be like, is this still working? Okay, I'll finish the Vanguard. Is this not working so much? Then I'll get something else. That's how I would approach this. Because coming in the lane, you're like, we're going to brawl. I bought some bracers. I took a point in Battle Hunger. You even held your skill points at level 2, which was cool. And, like, you could have held it at level 3 as well, which you kind of did for a bit. But then you took the second point Battle Hunger. But that's because you came into the lane ready to brawl, and then you weren't brawling. And so it's more like you have a plan, but you need, like, the amount you're updating your plan needs to increase in frequency. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
I've had people, I don't know you specifically, but I've like in terms of like I haven't talked to you in depth about this, but I've had students that are just like I ask them the question, they say because that was the plan, like because I plan to win this lane, and it's like 5 minutes in the game, and I'm like, but there's like a million individual actions that happen between 0 and 5 minutes, you know. So we need you guys to update a little bit more. So I ended up talking a lot about this. So we are at about the 10-minute mark. Was there any other question you wanted to get to? Because we kind of had a long discussion about you and your
No, that's
laning support.
I guess just out of curiosity, later on, my full item build afterwards, I went for blade mail BKB because of the ogre lion and smoke. But afterwards, I felt like I had mana problems, and I was just wondering what was gonna be the best option to solve my mana problems. I ended up going Kaya Sanj, but I also wasn't sure whether maybe Axe would have been better for the Marcy or Octarine.
I probably would have gone like Octarine Wind Waker this game. That's probably what I would have gone.
Okay.
Because I need my BKB to jump in, and then I need to be able to disengage and re-engage. And I think the only item that allows me to do that is Wind Waker, and Octarine is really good with BKB Wind Waker, so I would do that.
Okay.
That makes sense? It's all about the disengage, re-engage, I think, this game, because of their heroes.
Oh yeah. I was doing that later on.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
not
believe
in
you
every
know that,
fight,
yeah.
but
That makes sense.
that.
So I do think the Wind Waker would be your best item for that.
Mm-hmm.
So probably
but
like...
would you go like Yule's Octarine into Wind Waker?
It depends how much of a problem Marcy is. It's probably like Blade Mail, obviously Blade Mail BKB, and then it's like if Marcy's just owning me, then I would like Blade Mail call the sniper and be ready to Yule's her. But if she's not like particularly owning me at that point, I'd prefer Octarine first.
She was actually owning the game. Like,
yeah.
At some point, I think it was 14-2, and it was Marcy. It was maybe like 7-0.
Yeah,
on,
so maybe Yule's before Octarine then.
Okay. All right.
Cool, man.
Thank you.
No problem. It is the majority of the time that people are... So we're working on creating a system within the dojo that helps people learn how to communicate better. And I just want to say that 99%, in my opinion, of duo queues and party queue problems is that you guys are not discussing things before and after the game. If there are things that need to be talked about and you're not talking about them, what ends up happening is you try to talk about them when it's not appropriate to talk about them. This applies in real life as well. So if you find yourself in really difficult, stressful scenarios with your friends and you have this feeling of, I feel like this shouldn't be that complicated, then there's probably some simple conversation that you're not having with them at some point that isn't then. And in Dota, the best time is before for any planning and after about anything that went wrong. But what happens is none of us do that, and we have these frustrations that we then vent out during our next game because we never talked about it after the game. So, your brain wants to say these things. It's frustrated. It wants to talk about plans. And so then people get frustrated within the game. And 99% of the problem is that they're trying to talk about it at the wrong time. And that's something that Rupesh is here, Galder. He's one of the facilitators for our game nights. We're trying to give people clearer times within our game nights to actually talk about this kind of stuff. If you guys feel like there's a lack of communication in your parties, guarantee you, plan something to talk about before the game and plan something after, and it'll have massive positive impact, I promise. And if you guys need help with that, that's what we're here for. Void is not here. So we'll go for Sunny. I'm also coaching Void like right after this. Was there any comments from chat or from class about that? I mean, what we're trying to do for Dojo Plus in the coming year is to give you guys more improvement-focused events where we can help you learn to talk to each other and apply stuff in events. So I might end up like lowering my classes to once a week so that we can do more events, for instance. But the idea is giving you guys more practical application of stuff that we're teaching here in the dojo. But yeah, we have Sunny here. I can invite you up. Last time we talked about resetting my default because I was trying to do too much. Okay.
Hey class, ABSJ.
Yo, you're talking about, do you feel like you're overstaying your lane too long? Is that your question?
I think in this game, it's debatable. After reviewing it, I wasn't really sure if I stayed too long because I did feel like I did a lot of good staying bottom for a long time. But
yeah, Jug's a very good hero for staying in lane because he's very hard to gank.
I died on neutral here. I don't know why this neutral cast a spell on me.
I actually don't know why either. That's pretty funny.
Axe, we stomped this axe. He pretty much just like doesn't play the lane.
Understandable. You're gonna go get the Lotus. Have your... Yeah, I mean, my major concern is that I just have no idea what's going on in the rest of the game.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that when I was reviewing it. I don't look around the map enough.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I've been coaching you guys on it more, I've been more accountable to myself for moving around the map. I don't think anything you're currently doing in your lane is incorrect. The thing about this is if we're not looking around the map, we're going to get like randomly ganked or something in X percentage of games, and we're not going to be prepared for it.
For sure.
I know this from personal experience.
I think I'm bad at it in general, but I am a little better when I'm hitting neutrals than in the lane.
Yeah.
Bar's low.
Yeah, it looks like you do move around a little bit. Yeah, the thing for me is that now that I've been coaching you guys on it more, I've actually had to think about what it means to like look around the map more. Like, what does it take? So for me, it's like I've had to be more intentional about my next action in the game. Like, oh, I know I'm going from this wave to this camp, so I'm going to do this, right-click the camp, and then go do this, you know? It's made me have to be more intentional about my next action. So for me, the way to fix it is to be more intentional about your next action. So like here, you already know where you're going. Is it here or is it here? So like while you're at this camp, right? So if you do this, you walk in here, you know that this small camp is not going to take very long to kill. So instead of spending this time looking around, you spend the time going up to this small camp after you've clicked it once to click here and then look around.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
It's like a small nuance, but yeah, interestingly, you TP here. I would not have TP'd here, I don't think.
I don't like this TP in retrospect.
What were you thinking here?
I believe I just saw... What did I see? I think I just saw a creep wave on the tower, and the only person walking toward it was support.
How does that... what does the support matter here?
I guess it doesn't really.
Hmm.
I feel less bad booting him off the tower.
That's so interesting.
I think we could have such an interesting psychological study if we conducted on carry players and main character syndrome. I have it too, don't worry.
Well, the Witch Doctor is my duo queue friend.
What I'm saying is, it's this idea of like, it's okay if I boot him off farming. Like, it's just this, like, for me, the way that every carry player should theoretically look at the game is, how can our team have comprehensively the most farm? Like, that's how I want to look at every game. And the only time I take farm from other heroes is when I have no other choice. So the only time I TP in front of my teammates is when I have no other choice. So
I think.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm realizing also that around this time period in the game, I'm thinking my read is that we are slightly losing, but I am doing well. I have level 2 Omni Slash, and I'd like to connect if it looks good at some point in the next like few minutes with the Omni Slash, and hopefully take that tier 1 top. Maybe going through the Twin Gate would be better.
I want you to look at your teammates' items and tell me what looking good looks like.
Probably Dragonite getting gone on near a place I can teleport.
Okay.
Or he finishes Blink Dagger.
Okay. So maybe Dragonite near somewhere that you can TP to, and Oracle saves him.
Yeah. That sounds great.
Okay. So then we TP to our team when we see that. Right? But like, if we look at your team, are we strong enough to do anything? Most of your net worth is in a Battle Fury. Most of this guy's net worth is in Boots of Travel. This guy enables other heroes, so he's only as strong as the heroes he's enabling, and this guy has no fucking items.
Yeah, that doesn't change for like the next 30 minutes.
So what's really interesting to me is that I literally used this as an example in my previous coaching session. People say they need to get stuff done because we're losing and they outscale us. I just need you to describe to me what that something looks like, because how the fuck does this lineup do anything? That's what I look at. Like, I see this, and I see this, and I see this, and I'm like, your lineup ain't fucking doing shit. Like, you know what I mean? You see what I'm seeing?
Yeah, I see it. For sure.
So people will make decisions based off the game state rather than telling me how things are supposed to go. So I can promise each and every one of you, be cognizant of when you evaluate the game state. By putting your own personal biases on it, you will make bad decisions. Just observe what items and skills people have, and then evaluate what you can do with that. Your evaluation is what is actionable from the items and abilities that my teammates have, rather than are we winning or losing, and who scales better. These questions do not help us. Does that make sense?
They just apply pressure to make you make mistakes.
Exactly. The problem is
you're applying it to yourself.
When you say they scale better, now tell me, if you communicate that to me, they scale better, what do I do with it?
There's nothing actionable there.
I mean, there's like 90 different things I could do with that. Like in terms of the buttons I click, the places I go, what I think you mean by that. Do you see what I mean? Like, do you want me to go kill people? Do you want me to take a tower? Do you want me to go Midas? Like, what do you want? You know? But if I say, hey guys, wait till DK blink and smoke top, how many things can you do with that? One.
Yeah, it's clear.
So think about, I love Brede Brown's line, which is clear is kind. And this comes with communication. A lot of times, I don't have time to articulate it on stream, but also I've said in the past that this guy's communication is garbage, and I don't have time to communicate it. But the reason why his communication is garbage is because there are 70 different things I could do with what he's commanding. He's issuing it like it's a command, and I have no fucking clue what he wants me to do with it. It's like, huh. So then we have to think about how often are we commanding our own actions in this way? How often are we saying they scale better than us,
So go here. And it's like, but was I giving myself clear action? I think you get what I'm saying, but I'm also doing it for people who haven't been coached with me before. But does that make sense to you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really interesting, right? Because I get it. You guys are losing. They have PL, pretty hard carry. You're like countered by Lion Axe. It's not like the best game for you. I can see why there would be pressure on you. But none of that stuff helps you. Like in terms of making an actual decision in the game. None of that helps you. So whenever I feel pressured, if we can rewire that to when's the next time we can do something, gather as much information as possible, and make as concrete of a prediction as possible. Very difficult to do live in game, so it's good to practice it outside of the game. And then when you see a similar scenario, you'll be like, okay, I'm going to wait for DK to get gone on or he gets blinked. Like, because you'll see a similar scenario in the future, and you took 5 minutes outside of a game thinking about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So somebody earlier asked, how do you review replays and stuff? This is how you review replays. Is moments in the game that you were really flustered, try to give yourself concrete, what do we do next? But you have to go back and watch it, because in the game itself, it's like really difficult. I mean, it's impossible. It's impossible to do this live. Like, it's impossible. Let's not even chop it up to like really difficult. It's only going to be possible if you did it outside of the game and then you see the situation again. That's the only way it's going to be possible. So I think what you were doing here, you stayed in your lane because your hero was the only one with a good start. And what does Jug do with a good start? He farms. So that's what you were doing, was you were free farming. But that's honestly the only control you have over the game until you get like 3-4 items. That's the only control you have. Which sucks because, you know, it just is what it is. But when I think of Jug, I think he's a good momentum capitalizer. Like, if I healing ward my offlaner, he's going to own. If I, like, walk into a fight that's even and I healing ward it. But I need my team to, like, provide the momentum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I was watching RTZ video or something recently. He was talking about how Jug's like he just sits in the corner and goes like, here, have healing ward. You guys do stuff.
Yeah, he literally says, here, team, go get him. I might Omni Slash a support. You know? Like, that's his job until, like, minute 30. And, like, minute 20, 25, you might be like, oh, great, guys. You guys are invading top. I'll go take Tormentor for you. Oh, you're bottom. I'll take Roche for you. Like, I'll go hit this objective for you. Like, that's Jug. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
It
so...
feels very complimentary for a long time in the game.
Yeah, and so for you, it's just, this is you trying to embrace a role that's not yours. So you could ask yourself the question is, when I'm having a strong game and the game feels tough, what does my hero do? You know? And then you just try your best to stick to that. And I think that's the best way to try to keep yourself within your own limits.
Mm-hmm. Had I stayed bottom there, probably just go to the money tunnel, like South Ancients, and then evaluate from there.
Yeah, you probably just go here, and you maybe end up going back to your lane if you feel safe. If you don't have enough information, you go back here.
Axe is on my side of the map. Don't think he has Blink Dagger yet, but he should be close, maybe?
Yeah, he went Vanguard, so looks
know.
like
Okay,
he's not.
a while off.
So yeah, now we're just like here fighting as the level 12 Jug, and we're like, oh, spin and walk away, I guess.
Yeah,
like
this is bad.
Yeah, it just feels really bad because not only that, but you also had complete control of this area, right?
I did, yeah.
So not only did you TP somewhere that you can't farm, but you also walked away or TP'd away from a place you had complete control farm of. So you're clearing 4 camps a minute in 2 waves. That's a lot of gold in XP. So yeah, just kind of... It's just interesting why we make these decisions, right? Because it's not irrational, but it's not the right question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Any final questions about any of this?
Would you Manta or SNY? I'll end with that.
I probably still go Manta because I want to be able to clear waves. that I don't need to show on.
I'm finding anytime I opt for the Sanjin Yasha, even when I think it's like decent, I pretty much always regret it.
Manta is
in
just better in my
this last two
experience.
patches.
Yeah, currently
Yeah.
it's really OP to, well, me and Erfon call Ghost Push, which just means you clear a creep wave without showing on it. And for Jug, the only way to do that is a Manta. So.
I also didn't consider that the PL buys Bloodthorn later.
Yeah, he does.
So that was a problem eventually.
True. Yeah, I've learned. I think Manta is just generally much better than SNY this patch.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a very high, like extremely high bar to clear to opt for the SNY.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've yet to have a game where it's felt good when I've done it.
Yeah, I agree with that. That lines up with what I understand right now as well.
All right, sweet, good talk.
Cool, man. Good talk. I enjoyed that. I'm gonna boot you.
Peace.
Oh, the Harpy casts if you're below 20%. I didn't know that. That's really funny. Today I learned. Thank you. Okay. Void, do you mind if we go ahead and step into our coaching session rather than reviewing your replay? How close was Jug onto the top 5 carries? I think it's a ranged carry patch myself. That's just where I'm at. Like, I didn't consider Jug at all. It's like all ranged carries and then like PL Spectre because they're good against ranged carries. And then I also think Ursa's like, I put Ursa up there because of what I said in the video. But yeah, I think all the ranged carries are really good right now. But yeah. We are going to wrap up the class with, I feel like often I just think I don't get to play a lot anyway, so just queue whenever I have time and not think about what I'm going for. Even if I know I'm going to be able to play 2 or 3 ranked a week, I'll still try to have a plan for those games. Intentionality has been the only way that I've concretely improved my life. And the definition of intentionality, I think, for myself has evolved gradually over time. As a teacher, Rupesh, I think you would have a lot of insight on how your intentionality has improved your teaching. You know, for me, I think as an adult, it's equally more or even more important to be intentional about how you spend your spare time because you don't have as much of it. You know, people, at least this is how I used to think about it, and I still think that most Dota players think about it, is why do I have to think so hard about playing a video game? It's like, you have to think hard because you're not fucking 17 years old anymore with summer break and 100 hours a week to play a video game. So if you're only going to get to play 10 hours a week and you want to not fucking suck cock and hate your life, then you need to be intentional about it. You know, all intensive purposes. And that's what I'm experiencing is that I'm still enjoying Dota a lot, and I'm not climbing nearly as fast because I've been like stuck around 11.3, 11.4 for a while. You know, this new patch comes out and I'm trying new things. Like every game I learn something, which is cool. And that's why I'm like enjoying these games for the most part, is because like I'm settling into the meta. I'm like learning new things. I mean, the fact that I've gone about even this patch and none of these heroes are my heroes. Like I mean, like maybe Sniper, sure, but like I suck at Wind Ranger, my SF win rate, my Bristleback. I mean, Bristleback was a bit of an experiment. He failed though. Bristleback sucks. I am intentional about nearly everything except Dota. That's what I mean. The majority of us think it's like we treat Dota differently than the rest of our lives. And I think a lot of us, it's because we started playing Dota when we weren't being intentional about things. We have these like habits that were built when we were like 18 years old. And then we haven't like reevaluated the habits, you know? Yeah, right now we don't have time, Hurt. I apologize for that. But I'm already late for my next coaching session. Yeah, feel free to post on the peer review. We actually meant to open that up to everybody, which we are going to open it up. But yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the class there. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Had a nice class. Keep an eye out for the updates that'll be coming to the classes. They're going to be pretty soon. Appreciate your guys' time. I had a nice time here. Peace. Okay. And we got a coaching session. Sorry, Twitch chat and YouTube chat. I'm not interacting at all because I have coaching session, class, coaching session. So we got a busy day. And if I sound upset for some reason, I'm just tired. Sure. Let's take a 5-minute break. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. Go clean up my desk a little bit. Go grab a small snack. And we'll continue. Okay. We're good to go.
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm not bad, man. Long day, but a good day. How about you?
Yeah, it's late your time.
Hey, how's it going for you?
Not too bad. I was just looking at my communication score. It has been going up, but I don't think it's 7K yet. So you won't be able to coach me. So we'll have to do the same thing as last time, I guess.
Sure. I believe in you to get there. So with that in mind, I see your current rank is Archon. What is the exact MMR you're at now?
I'm at 2462.
And how's that compared to last time, if you remind me?
I think it's about the same, maybe a couple games lower. I think I started playing a lot of Luna, and at first my win rate wasn't too good with her, but now I'm getting a lot better. So things are starting to go back up again. So I'm pretty confident that I've had like a 60% win rate lately. So I'm pretty confident things are gonna go up again. But went into a little bit of a lull learning her.
Would you like to focus on Luna today, or
But I've been
what's the
playing a
plan?
bunch lately. Yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that you were going to submit it for class. Do you have a Luna replay you want to watch now?
We could watch. Yeah, we could watch the most recent one that I just played. I don't know. Did you look at my replay during class? I wasn't
I did
there.
not get the chance. No, I skipped it because we were a bit behind, and I knew your session was coming up.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. Just curious. So yeah, let me send you a match ID here, the one I just played. Let's see. So for a while, I had a hard time getting like a good net worth at 10 minutes, like during the laning phase. But I think your last hitting drills really helped me yesterday. So I think I spent at least like half an hour doing those last hitting drills, and my net worth is starting to go up. So, but that is kind of one of the biggest issues I've had on her, is just getting like a decent start. Um, and this game, I felt like I played like well enough to win most of my games. So I didn't really feel too bad about the loss. It was just like uh, my team like just wasn't able to really do much, and I just didn't feel like I could really solo carry it. So, so yeah, I felt like it went okay, but
I got you. Yeah, so what would success for today's session look like? I mean, I saw your notes about what you want to learn today, but like what would success be for you coming out of this session?
I think I think two things. Getting some pointers on improving my laning with her, and then number two is in both this game and the game I sent you in the live questions. There's just kind of just like issue where I get into this scenario where the map is kind of closed off and I can't push. So, for example, like there's this, Pudge, and I just like, the walls are just closing in, and I'm not really sure if I'm doing the right thing in those scenarios. So I think that those two things would be super helpful.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I realize I need to.
I mean,
I
this
was
is
definitely
very
aware of the Pudge the entire time,
it's very Pudge
but
specific, and yeah, I mean, that's why I'm not talking about it too much. It's very Pudge specific.
it's not like I wasn't like, yeah, it's not like I wasn't thinking about it or anything. I just like a bunch of them I felt like I was safe, but they just came out of nowhere and got me. So definitely something for me to look at.
How do you feel about the other facet, but out of curiosity?
Honestly, both of the facets seem like completely useless to me. That's what they seem like.
Hmm.
I have no idea. Like everybody's not even leveling this facet until like they don't even level the W until they max stats
Is
from what
that
I can
something you're
see.
seeing on
So
the
I'm
current
just I
patch?
just don't even know like that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, I mean I can't really watch that many pro replays and there aren't that many pros playing well, I don't know because I can't see the replays, but in Dota 2 Pro Tracker, yeah, the games I've watched, it seems like mostly people are just leveling stats W.
Okay, I have a I have a different theory of how to play right now, and I'd love to try it out in your game because I think it might work for you, and it will help you learn things. I think. So I want to go on the other facet, and I want to try only putting 1 point in beam with no points in eclipse. So my idea for Dota right now is that the carry's job is to like push the lane and fuck off, and if you can't push the lane, then it's your job to just jungle it out and rotate back to your lane if possible. And so it's like, if you can participate in mid-game fights, great. But in my experience, Luna can't participate in mid-game fights, even with max beam and eclipse. So, like, that's my opinion right now. So I might be wrong and see what you end up doing here in the mid-game. But I would have much rather seen you just have points in this, push the wave out, and just, like, spam this pull over and over again. Like, I would have loved for you to just be using pulls. Because the only reason this pudge is a problem is because we're sitting on top of the creep wave. We're just, like, standing still. So I would have been moving a lot more in the lane. Because you're not dealing with like an offlaner that's going to follow up the pudge. You're just dealing with a tide, like a very stationary guy that if you just push the lane out and leave, he can't do much about it. That's kind of how like I look at this.
So what it feels kind of like it feels like I can't really jungle that well until like Morbid Mask and level 5 or so. Like, so that's why that's kind of one of the things I've been experimenting with there is like making sure I'm staying within XP range so I can get to that level first so I can efficiently jungle. And it seems like that's one of my fears is that if I'm just pushing out the wave that I'm not jungling efficiently. And I'm missing out on the XP, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I've been trying to find the sweet spot for that.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, looking at the game state, we're wondering why we even have 4 points beam now. Like, at the very least, I would have loved to see that set level 7 gone into your third spell.
Yeah, I mean, my thinking there was that at least, yeah, the thinking there is that like this is the beam and the alt is like at least allows me to try and contribute to some extent if something happens, and that at the third point in E doesn't really add that much. Maybe it does, but yeah, I'm totally down to try because I do agree. It's like it's pretty easy to kite out her alt early on. So yeah, it does kind of seem like you can't really use it that much sometimes.
Yeah, my thought is I'm gonna watch you play this out. So I do think your W is actually insanely good for clearing ancients, is one thing that I think about it.
True.
Especially with the other facet. Not with this facet. With this facet, your skill build and stuff is how you play it. Okay, I don't mind that TP. I would have also been perfectly content if you didn't TP there.
I played her a lot when there was the Conda build, and of course that was just amazing. But now it's been trying to kind of figure it out, like what is the new way to play her?
It's interesting. You ran away from that lich. Why did you run away from?
I remember. I wasn't sure if I could really do anything.
I mean, he's alone. Though. That's my thought.
Oh, yeah. I think I just assumed that there wasn't there. I just assumed that there must be somebody else there. Otherwise, why would he just be like?
That's
so aggressive there?
understandable if you don't see everybody else.
Yeah, true.
That's understandable if you don't have the information.
Yeah.
But you did have the information, so I feel like we kind of just gave up our ancients.
But you can see, like, yeah. So you can see, like, right now how the map is just kind of like, it's not that bad, but it's like, you know, they have all our tier ones. We have none of theirs. And it's just like constantly, it's just like this.
Do you know what you
right?
learned here?
Like, it just.
You learned to not TP to this fight down here.
Okay.
Because you ended up, I'm fast forwarding through the game. Look at your game state before that fight. Got all the space in the world. You've got a lane to pressure, a tower to take. And now you're back on your side of the map with your team.
Right. I'm just reinforcing the pattern.
What I'm showing you is when you get stuck, you need to find out when you can put yourself there. Does that make sense?
When I get stuck, how I can say it one more time?
When you find yourself stuck in the game, you need to rewind and see when you put yourself there.
I see what you mean. Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Yep.
It's really hard for me to tell you why I would not have TP'd to this fight. I said I didn't mind it, but I also wouldn't have minded if you didn't TP. And this is the reason. Is because if you don't TP to this fight, you take this tower, you play these camps here while they're dead, and you're farming this for like the next, like however long, you force reactions. So when you're playing a hero that gets closed off on the map, the only way to prevent that is by forcing reactions to you. So if you find yourself on the spot of the map that you can force a reaction, you shouldn't leave it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because now you left it,
all right,
and now you're fucked. It seems so fine because you're participating in fighting, getting kills, but now just like, what you would do here, actually, now that I think about it, understanding you went to this fight and stayed in this part of the map. Let's actually say you TP to this fight, because you're going to do this in future games. So let's not act like you're never going to TP to this fight. What should you do now? Right back where you were.
Well, okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You can actually feel it out that the area of the map that you are pressuring is up here. That's the farthest up you've been pushing. When you're down here, you played back here over and over again. Like, I want you to feel this stuff out and just observe it. Like, I got stuck all the way back here. I was able to play this far up over here. Like, you may not understand why in any given game, but it's because Drow's not gonna really move around the map, and she's continuously pushing this lane out, and you can't stop her. So that lane's gonna be pushed into you, and you don't want to walk into Drow. So that's why it's hard for you to go down here. Even though you're level 13 and she's level 10, you don't really do anything to the hero. Do you see what I mean?
Absolutely.
So the way we fix this is by walking left here. By not even going to this camp. You go through the Ancients, and then you just, like, walk left back to where you were. But now we're kind of going in a circle.
Yeah, normally that would be, like, really obvious for me. I think the reason why I wasn't really thinking about it is that it's just so much later in the game. Like usually if it was like 10 minutes in the game, right? 11 minutes, 12 minutes in the game, I would think like, oh, Drow's still there farming your safe lane, you know, because it's still kind of like slightly post-laning phase. But I guess it didn't occur to me that it's kind of like what's happening in the game right now is still what was happening at 10 minutes, basically.
I see.
Um,
Well, do you actually see what you're missing here? Do you know what I'm going to highlight right here? Looking at the game state?
well, a lot of people are top,
Okay.
so I can manta that mid wave and then
Yeah.
run bottom.
Big deal. You're going to get stuck if you don't force reactions, period. Luna is the best hero in Dota at pushing waves.
Okay.
Literally the best hero in Dota. Like,
Yeah.
if she's allowed to, which you're being allowed to. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not ganking you. So you're allowed to run around the map mantaing this when you have opportunities. So for you, the only thing that limits Luna, like, her farm speed is insane. The only thing that limits her is death. So, like, getting ganked. So when you see heroes, it needs to be a response of push a wave. And the easiest response on Luna is go push a wave with Manta and walk to the farther lane. Like, this is the dream situation on Luna.
Yep.
Manta this, go farm this before the 19 minute mark, farm it again, go to this lane. You know what I mean? Like, this is the dream. And we're just leaving that lane. So every time you get stuck in these games, you can rewind through your game and say, how many times did I miss a wave? So what's interesting about this is that you saw all of the heroes top, like right now. So you have to kind of take a risk here and walk into the side and try to take this camp. Like, you saw them top. You can't just assume that they like TP'd 4 heroes bottom. And you also have night vision. So you walk right here, see what they're doing, take the camp, and then back. So like, this is an example of missing a camp. And oh, now they're top. And since you walked back instead of aggressively, you're now back here instead of right here, ready to go here. Do you see what I mean?
Yep.
Because now you see this information. So you walk into this big camp. If you get no information by the time you're done with the big camp, you back up. But if you get information, which you did, you would walk into their jungle. And you're now no longer stuck. So do you see how you end up getting stuck? It's by simply missing waves and missing camps. It's small, minor mistakes, but they get you stuck. Do you see it?
I think I don't consider that I can take those camps. Like I can see walking up to the camp. Is that a large camp near Drow?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can see considering taking that, but I wouldn't think about going up to the high ground in their jungle and taking that camp.
Why not? Like, what's your gut telling you of why you wouldn't do that?
I mean, just out of habit, really. There's no reason not to. Just out of habit. I think there's something like about the tier 1 tower still being there that just well, also just I think out of habit I never like go ahead of the wave for farm.
Yeah. Well, that's how you don't get trapped.
Yeah.
You don't
Okay.
get trapped because you go through these camps at nighttime. It's the best time to do it because there's less vision. And you're also a
When you
nighttime
know where that
vision
is at.
hero. You walk through here, and then when you're about to leave, you manta the next wave. And you don't manta the wave until you're ready to leave. You don't do
Okay.
anything down here that tells them you're here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, until you've cleared the camp, and
Yeah.
then you go back, right?
Yeah, and then you manta the wave, and then you, like, honestly, you don't even manta the wave if they're just letting you have these camps and you don't feel like you need to leave. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you see, like, 4 heroes here and you're farming backwards now, sure, like, manta the wave on your way out. Sort of thing. But it is really crucial to not show, but you can stay here and farm all these camps. That's how you don't get stuck, is you go to this camp, knowing you're allowed to go to it, you get more information, you advance again.
Right.
This is all just information, go advance. And people may say, yeah, there's some X% chance you run into enemies in their jungle, but that X% chance is less costly than sitting on your side of the map like this. Do you see what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, if we were like super ahead, well, never mind. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you could just be right here, farming a new set of camps right here, manting this wave as this is happening. That's where you could be. Right? If we had gone
I guess
to
I
this
was gonna
camp at
say
1910. Yeah.
Yeah, like in situations like this where we're losing, I need to take some calculated risks.
Mm-hmm.
If we were like way ahead, then
Not
I
passing the
wouldn't really
creep
need
wave and
to
these
concern
fundamentals
myself
that
too
you
much.
have are probably accurate, yeah. Like you
Yeah,
said, you have
but then
some
again,
of
if
these
we
like
were way
guidelines.
ahead, the map would. Say that again.
The guidelines that you have in place are most likely useful when you're winning, and they're not good to. You can't just blindly follow them when you're losing, is what I'm saying. Like you gave me some guidelines you had earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because those are safety calculated risk or like calculated plays, which makes sense. You can't do that when you're losing, yeah. And like showing up to
Yeah,
this.
so as soon as I start to feel like
Good.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, as soon as I start to kind of get this feeling of like, I mean, ideally I recognize it ahead of time, and it never happens. But yeah, in the game when I start to feel kind of the map closing off like that is when I need to start taking some calculated risks. But like you said, I need to really do it beforehand, so it never gets to that point in the
I
first
think
place.
you should start taking calculated risks in general. I don't think you should need to assess the map state. I would need you to look at a game, see this map state, and use Manta on this wave. I would need you to see this map state that 4 heroes just showed top and go to this camp. And then by the time you finish that camp, you see this map state and you'd keep going. You can be up by 10k or down by 5k. You see this same shit, you do the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like it's
Yeah.
I don't want you to overthink it and overcomplicate it with like I should understand the map state or like the game state so I know to take calculated risks. You can see this information and know I should manta that creep wave. I should go forward a camp. I should go forward another camp. Like this applies winning or losing.
Yeah.
It's going to feel more awkward and more dangerous when you're losing. But it's the same principle. I would want you to do this when you're winning as well. It's just the percentage of dying will be much lower. Like, you can die doing this in a winning game too, but if you don't do this in a winning game, you risk giving the opponent more space than they should get. In last coaching session, we were playing a very different hero, right? You've been showing me a lot of Ursa games.
Yeah.
I love Luna because she is the ultimate stall out the game reaction forcer, get 6 slotted at 35 minutes and kill everybody. I love Luna. Like, that's why I love Luna. Like, she's the hero where you're here and your team is taking a fight and you kill this building, take like 7 camps in 1 minute, 2 creep waves, manta the mid wave, you're getting like fucking 2 lanes of creeps and 8 creep camps a minute, and you're like, I'm dreaming, it's awesome! And people have to be like coordinated against you to deal with it. And in your guys' bracket, I've noticed you don't see many like Storms and Embers mids. You see like fucking Necros and Lenas and Snipers. And this is like the dream for Luna. You just walk around the map farming. You know, in this game,
Gotcha. Okay.
for me, your next item would be Butterfly. Like, because I just do that faster. And then I probably go like fucking Hurricane Pike, like Lincoln's Silver Edge. Like, that's what I'm going in this game. I'm never planning on taking an honest fight in this game.
Because, I think I went Ags after BKB because I thought that there'd be some synergy with the Magnus, but didn't really play out that way. I mean, there was synergy with it, but I can see how what you're suggesting is more reliable for me to kind of do things on my own.
This is what you control, yeah. This is, I mean, it's not even like we don't show up to fights. It's just like, this is a split pushing game through and through. They have no catch other than Pudge. So I need a Hurricane Pike. So maybe instead of Butterfly, I go Hurricane Pike. Like, I need an item to get away from Pudge. But like, aside from that, they have literally no stuns. like to catch me on the map while I'm farming. You know what I mean? They have stuns and fights. Like, you can't walk into them and fight them. But they can't catch you. Like, how do they catch you? Guy's got, like, Blink
Yeah.
Mage Slayer. It's like, okay, it's a Tide Hunter, though. You know? I want to play your game now. We're going to do Luna. Pray to God you get Luna.
Okay.
We're going to focus on your farming patterns, and we're going to discuss a bit after the whys of what I changed for you, okay? I've kind of reversed the order of making you understand the why after seeing it play out, rather than trying to make sure you see it now. Does that sound good?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and share your
How
screen.
did we do
with me.
this last time?
You shared
Did
your screen on
you-
Discord. That's how you did it.
Okay. So I'm trying to remember, I'm using my audio from my laptop so I can talk. Is there a way that I can share it on my PC while we're still in here?
I don't think so. I don't know what you did last time. You never talked to me about this last time. I know you shared your screen with me, because I remember watching the Ursa game on Discord.
Good. Okay. Fuck. This might be an issue.
Would you like
Because
to?
I put my mic.
Would you like to postpone? I can add you on Steam, and we can do this more than 24 hours from now. The problem with Steam is that I have to wait 24 hours to watch your game if I friend you.
Yeah, that would probably be best. Unless, do we have 2 minutes for me to grab my mic and see if it works?
It's only going to take 2 minutes. Sure, go ahead.
It's up to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it 1 second.
Yeah, I guess it's more accurate for me to say they lack catch rather than they lack stuns. Catch is a more accurate thing to say there. Because they do have stuns, but they lack catch. Their only catch is Pudge. That's a fine distinction to make, Twitch chat. He can't do coaching because his behavior score is low.
All right, I got my headset. I'm going to hang up here, and then I'm going to call you in Discord, and then let me just make sure. Just give me a second to set.
Sounds good. That's awesome, Arthur Lago. That's a lot of MMR. 18 win streak. That's pretty sick. Simon Neo, thanks for the sub. And Tara Chad, thanks for the sub as well. No, I know you were responding to him, but you actually made me realize I should make that distinction.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hold on. You can probably hear me, but I can't hear you. Let me see if what my output's set to. Can you say something again?
Hello.
Yeah, I don't know. We might have to do it postpone. It's just like I don't know. Like my output device is set in Windows to these headphones, and it's set like that in Discord. But let me try and rejoin.
Hello.
Testing.
Testing. Hello.
Sorry, man. I guess we'll have to postpone so I can get this figured out ahead of time. Can't hear anything you're saying unless I can join both things at once. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's just do that. Sorry, thanks, man.
Yeah, can you send me your friend ID or Steam ID? Oh wait, no, I can just look at this game, right? I literally have a game of him. Okay. We'll call it there, though.
Now you can hear me now, right?
Yeah. Did you get my friend request?
Yeah, I confirmed it.
Okay.
Do we have to wait 24 hours?
Yeah, you have to
or...
wait 24 hours for me to be able to watch your game live.
Okay.
That's the only other option. So, I'm just gonna add a nickname for you.
Okay.
And
well, we'll know exactly what we're doing next time. And
yeah, you're gonna pick Luna. I'll watch you live, and our goal is for you to have a better understanding of how to stay out on the map and pressure waves as efficiently as possible, because that's the skill that decides Luna, or like makes Luna useful in the game. We're gonna try
perfect.
that
Yeah,
out.
thanks. For whatever reason, no matter how I set my audio, I don't know why it doesn't work.
Yeah, no problem, man. We'll have a better setup for future sessions, so should work out well. I'll see you then. We'll figure out a time, maybe Friday, Saturday, or early next week or something. So. Cool, man.
Yeah, look in your calendar. Thank you.
Yep. Oh, I wasn't recording. I mean, it's fine. I have the I mean, the interesting part of the VIP session is I should have been recording. Community content video producer. Watch. Okay, just had to take some notes for the session so I don't lose track of it. Yeah, there's just issues, guys. You're gonna have to trust me that the issue's not fixable right now. Because it's not on my end. So. Okay. With that in mind, had a long day. Did I guess that makes it 2.5 coaching sessions. With that in mind, I'm gonna, I believe, wrap it up for the day. What's your favorite superhero? What is my favorite superhero? It's a good question. Probably Iron Man. Those are my favorite movies. DSJ, would you say 1 to 2 losses every 10 games, winning the other 8 is just a natural flow of can't win them all? I mean, you definitely just can't win them all. I would say for me, I try not to even ask myself if I could have won that game. I just ask myself every game if I could have played better. Like, for me, it doesn't help me mindset wise and improvement wise to ask myself if I could have won that game. Like, I don't look at that as a helpful question. How do I edit the hero layout? It's this little arrow thing down here. Little pen thing down here. Have some pulfriches. I love my pulfriches. They're yummy. Are we feeling about the Stranger Things finale? I'm excited. I've been watching Stranger Things. I've seen that there's a lot of complaints from like the fandom and stuff. I do think there's like random parts of the plot that are uninteresting, but I've been in suspense for most of the episodes and I've been enjoying it. I think the show did a good job. Like overall, it's a suspenseful show. Hell yeah. Awesome, Mortifera. Have fun, dude. Is Luna Ags trash now? I mean, I haven't gotten to play Luna, but my theory crafted build is to go this facet with a Swift Blink in your inventory. To have like a butterfly, satanic, Swift Blink, BKB, and just like get the fuck in there, you know? Why Swift Blink? It's the best way to get right next to people, and it gives you a ton of damage. 60 agility is a lot. Yeah, I mean, people just want to be a part of the in crowd. People just love to complain about shit. It's kind of like the same thing I've talked about with people who like complain about Valve a lot. It's like, we have like the best game ever made. You know, maybe just chill out for a second, you know. But yeah. I've had a really long day, so I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Let me see. I have one coaching session that I'll be doing tomorrow, and that's at 2 p.m. CET. So tune in for that if you'd like. We have a coaching session channel that all of my coaching goes to. If you want to look it up, it's called Dota Dojo Coaching on YouTube. In Twitch chat, I can link the VOD or the channel. And but yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.